At my wedding, my grandfather stood up and declared, "This marriage is a disgrace to our family name." My parents nodded in agreement, and my uncle sneered, "If you go through with this, you're dead to us." Holding back tears, I took a deep breath and smiled. "Well, in that case, let's make it official." When I pulled out my own document, the entire room fell into a stunned silence. This happened 2 weeks ago, and I haven't been able to sleep much since. I keep replaying the moment in my head, and I feel sick every time. I'm 28, female, and I just got married to the love of my life. But our wedding didn't go the way I imagined it would. Actually, it exploded. My husband, feels weird even calling him that now, is Daniel. He's 30, a software engineer originally from Queens, New York. We met in Charleston, South Carolina, at a mutual friend's party 5 years ago. I'm from here. Born and raised. Deep Southern roots. My family's been in Charleston for generations. Big old house. Old money. Southern charm on the outside, but on the inside? Extremely traditional. And not in a good way. When I introduced Daniel to my parents, things were off right away. My dad barely looked at him. My mom forced a smile and asked really specific questions about his religion, family history, how much money he made, etc. It was uncomfortable, but I kept hoping they'd come around. Spoiler, they didn't. To be clear, Daniel is everything to me. He's kind, funny, grounded. He treats me like gold. He listens. He respects me. He doesn't raise his voice. He's a good man. But to my family, he wasn't one of us. And no, this isn't about race. We're both white. But Daniel is half Jewish, his dad's side is Italian, he's from New York, and his parents are divorced. Basically, he didn't fit their mold of a perfect Southern gentleman. Still, I thought love would win. I was wrong. We got engaged last year. Daniel proposed on the Charleston waterfront under the old oak trees. I said yes through happy tears. When we told my family, their reaction was cold. My dad barely acknowledged it. My mom said, "Are you sure?" My grandfather, who practically runs our family, didn't say anything at all. Things got worse during wedding planning. My mom tried to control everything, the guest list, the flowers, even the menu. She didn't want Daniel's relatives taking over the vibe. She said it like they were some kind of invasion. Daniel stayed patient. I kept telling myself it would all blow over. That once the wedding happened, they'd see how happy we were. I told myself stories. I lied to myself a little. I just wanted peace. We planned the ceremony at a historic church downtown. The kind with stained glass windows, creaky wooden pews, the whole Southern fairy tale look. We invited 150 guests. Daniel's family flew down from New York and New Jersey. Mine were mostly local. Everyone showed up in their best dresses and suits. It was hot outside, the kind of sticky March heat Charleston is known for, but inside the church, it was cool and quiet. I was in the back room, dressed, ready, nervous but excited. My best friend helped me fix my veil. She whispered, "You got this." I smiled. I believed her. The music started. The doors opened. I stepped into the aisle, heart pounding. Daniel stood at the altar, looking at me like I was the only person in the world. For a second, everything felt right. Then it all blew up. Just as the pastor welcomed everyone and began the ceremony, my grandfather, Robert, stood up from the front pew. His voice was calm but sharp. "This marriage is a disgrace to our family name," he said. The entire church went still. Dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. I froze. I looked at him, stunned. He didn't even look at me. His eyes were on Daniel. Then my dad stood up beside him. He nodded slowly. My mom followed. She wouldn't look at me, but her arms were crossed. Then my Uncle James added, loudly, "If you go through with this, you're dead to us." People gasped. Someone dropped a program. I felt like I had been slapped. Daniel turned toward me, eyes wide. He reached for my hand. I gripped it, hard. My chest felt tight. I couldn't speak at first. The room spun. But then something happened inside me. I'd been small and obedient my whole life. I'd said yes ma'am and followed the rules. I'd kept the peace. I'd never caused a scene. But this time, they were trying to ruin the most important day of my life. I looked at Daniel. I looked at the guests, half in shock, some whispering, others glaring at my family. I took a breath. Then I smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. It was the kind you wear when you've had enough. I reached into the pocket of my wedding dress. Yes, it had pockets, my one non-negotiable. I pulled out a folded piece of paper. Everyone stared. I unfolded it slowly. This, I said, my voice cracking but loud enough to carry, is a legal document. I had it drawn up a few months ago. It officially removes me from the family trust, the will, and the name. I am done being controlled by you. You could hear the air being sucked out of the room. I had a feeling you'd pull something like this, I added. So I came prepared. Consider this my freedom. My grandfather's face turned purple. My mom gasped. My dad looked like he'd been slapped. You would throw away everything? My mom hissed. I'm not throwing anything away, I said. I'm choosing the man I love. The pastor looked unsure of what to do. Daniel squeezed my hand again. I looked around the room. Anyone who doesn't want to be here can leave now. No one moved. Not at first. Then my grandfather turned and walked out. My parents followed. Uncle James hesitated, then left too. A few others got up, distant cousins, some of my dad's business friends. The room felt emptier, but it also felt lighter. I turned back to Daniel. His eyes were glassy. He mouthed, I love you. I nodded. I know. Let's do this. And that's where I'll pause. Because what happened after was even more shocking, and I'm not sure how to explain it just yet. If anyone wants to hear the rest, I'll post again. But for now, I need a minute. Hey again, Reddit. It's me. If you haven't read my first post, go check it. The wedding. The walkout. The document in my dress pocket. Yeah, that was real. So here's what happened next. Then it was my turn. I opened my mouth, and froze. I couldn't speak. Something was wrong. My chest tightened. My hands trembled. My throat went dry. I looked out at the crowd, at the empty seats where my family had sat. My mom. My dad. My grandfather. Gone. All the weight of the last few months, the judgment, the silence, the manipulation, it all hit me at once. I was having a full-blown panic attack at the altar. Daniel stepped closer. Hey, it's okay, he whispered. Take your time. But my eyes started to blur. I tried to talk, but nothing came out. My mouth moved. No sound. The pastor gave me a soft look. Would you like a moment? He asked. I nodded. I stepped back, breathing hard. My best friend ran up from the front row and helped me to the side room. I sat down, head between my knees. I don't know if I can do this, I whispered. I thought I was strong, but they left. They just left. She looked me dead in the eyes. They walked out because they couldn't control you anymore. That doesn't make you weak. That makes you free. She wasn't wrong. But it still hurt like hell. I sat there for 5 minutes, maybe more. Daniel stayed at the altar, waiting. His family stayed seated. No one left. Finally, I stood up. I walked back out. My hands were shaking. My heart still felt cracked. But I stood next to Daniel and said my vows, not word for word like I wrote them, but real. Raw. From the gut. I'm not perfect, I said. I'm scared. But I know that you're my person. I choose you over everything. Even over people I never thought I'd lose. And I don't regret it. Daniel wiped a tear from his face. We exchanged rings. We were pronounced husband and wife. And for one short second, I thought, okay. We made it. But no. Of course not. We walked down the aisle. The doors of the church opened, and there was a guy standing there. Holding a manila envelope. Wearing a smug grin. I didn't recognize him right away. But Daniel did. His face dropped. What the hell is he doing here, he muttered. I whispered, who is that? Michael, he said. My old business partner. I remembered the name. Vaguely. Daniel had mentioned him months ago. Something about a startup they ran together. It fell apart badly. Daniel said he walked away from it because it got shady. Something about funds being misused. Legal threats were exchanged. Michael stepped forward and said, loud enough for everyone to hear. Sorry to interrupt your perfect day, Danny boy. Just thought you'd want to see this before your honeymoon. He handed Daniel the envelope. Smiling like a snake. Daniel opened it. He read the first page. His face turned white. What is it? I asked. He didn't answer. I took the papers from his hand and read the top, notice of legal action, civil suit regarding theft and fraudulent misuse of investor funds. I blinked. What is this? Daniel stammered. It's nothing. He's lying. Michael snorted. Try explaining that in court, buddy. People started whispering behind us. My legs went weak. I turned to Daniel. Is this true? He grabbed my hand. No. I swear to you. He's trying to ruin me. He's always hated me. But his eyes, something in them was off. He looked afraid. Not just shocked. Afraid. I felt like the ground was tilting. Michael looked at me. Ask him where the $70K went. Ask him what he did with the investment from Trident Ventures. Go on. Ask him. Daniel said nothing. My chest tightened again. Daniel, please tell me this is a lie. He opened his mouth, but didn't speak. I stepped back. Not now, he whispered. Not here. That's where it all broke again. I felt like I was falling in slow motion. My wedding dress suddenly felt too heavy. The ring on my finger felt like fire. People were watching. Guests. Family. His parents. My best friend. The pastor. I stared at the man I just married. And for the second time that day, I didn't know what to do. To be continued. Let me know if I should keep going. I wish this story had one of those perfect endings. But this? This is real life. And it got messy, eh? You said, add more story twist, but still keep the details consistent. ChatGPT said, Part 3, The Secret Inside the Ring Box. Hi Reddit. Me again. If you've read the first two parts, you know the wedding day that started with love and ended with explosions. First, my family tried to derail it by walking out. Then, right after Daniel and I said I do, his old business partner Michael showed up with legal papers accusing Daniel of fraud. And now I have to tell you what happened next, because I wish I were making this up. So, we're standing outside the church. I'm in my wedding dress, gripping legal papers with my name now attached to Daniel's. Michael, the smug ex-partner, is staring at us like he just won a game. Guests are whispering. Daniel is trying to get me to walk to the car. Let's talk about it later, he says. I yank my arm away. I'm not going anywhere until you tell me the truth. Michael throws in, better talk fast. That lawsuit hits court next month. Oh, and you'll probably want to check your bank accounts too. My stomach flips. I turn to Daniel. What's he talking about? Daniel looks panicked. Don't listen to him. He's trying to scare you. But I'm done being kept in the dark. We get in the limo. Not because I forgive him, but because I need answers away from the crowd. The driver starts driving toward the reception, but I tell him to stop at the marina instead. Daniel and I sit in silence. Finally, I break it. Tell me now. Is any of what he said true? Daniel runs a hand through his hair. He's twisting everything. We had a falling out. I borrowed some funds from our shared account for a personal emergency. I was going to pay it back. Then I left the company. He turned on me. You didn't think to tell me about any of this before our wedding? I ask. I didn't want to ruin things, he says. I thought it would blow over. I stare out the window. My heart feels like it's breaking all over again. Then, my phone buzzes. It's a text from my cousin Rachel. She stayed at the church after we left. She writes, "You need to call me. Something's going on with your mom." I call her right away. Rachel answers, out of breath. Hey, okay, listen. Your mom and grandfather didn't just leave the church. They went to your house. I followed them. They're tearing through your office. What? Why? I don't know, but your mom said, it has to be here somewhere. She's hiding it. My blood runs cold. What are they looking for? I whisper. I don't know, Rachel says. But your grandfather looked furious. I think it's about the trust. Then I remember something. We drive to my place. When we get there, my front door is open. Inside, drawers are pulled out. Papers everywhere. My office looks like it's been ransacked. My mom is standing there, holding my fireproof lockbox. My grandfather is next to her, red-faced, furious. My dad is outside in the car. What the hell are you doing in my house? I scream. My mom snaps, "Where's the deed, Grace? We know you have it." I feel like I'm in a movie. I look at them, these people who raised me, and I see strangers. You mean the deed to the land grandfather gifted me when I graduated from college? I say. The one you're not allowed to take back? My grandfather steps forward. You're being reckless. You don't understand how these things work. That land isn't just land. It's history. Legacy. I shake my head. No. It's control. That's all it's ever been. Then, without thinking, I walk to my closet, pull down a small jewelry box, and open the back panel. I hid the deed there. Not in the safe. Not in my files. I take it out and hold it up. Looking for this? My mother reaches for it. I pull it back. You'll get this over my dead body, I say. The tension in the room is unbearable. Then Daniel, who's been quiet the whole time, steps forward and says, "You've treated her like an object. Not a person. You don't deserve her. None of you do." And my grandfather, calm as ice, says, "You really think this marriage will last after everything you're about to learn about him?" I turn. What? My grandfather smirks. You don't even know, do you? Daniel looks stunned. What are you talking about? Michael wasn't bluffing. We have records. My PI pulled everything last month. He hands me a folder. I open it. Inside, bank records. Private emails. A Venmo receipt labeled "Return Loan, Vegas." And a photo. Daniel. With another woman. At a rooftop bar. Close. Too close. My hands go numb. "Grace," Daniel starts. I cut him off. Don't. Not another word. I walk past my family. Past Daniel. Into the backyard. I sit down on the grass in my dress. I don't cry. I just stare at the sky. And I think, everyone I loved betrayed me in one single day. And yet, somehow, I feel free. I don't know how long I sat there, in the backyard, wedding dress soaked in grass and sweat, staring at the sky like it had the answers I never got from anyone I trusted. Inside, the house was quiet for a moment. Too quiet. Then the yelling started again. My grandfather. My mom. Daniel. Then the door creaked open. Rachel came out. She sat next to me without saying anything. Just sat. That's why I love her. No questions. Just real. They're about to kill each other in there, she said softly. I think your dad left. Drove off without a word. I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it was so stupidly awful. I don't even know who to be mad at anymore, I whispered. It's like they all worked together to destroy the one thing I thought was mine. Rachel handed me a tissue. Then maybe it wasn't yours. We sat in silence until Daniel stepped out. He looked wrecked. Hair messy, face pale, tie loosened. No trace of the calm, confident man I thought I married. No, I snapped. You were trying to protect yourself. Rachel stood up, knowing this was our conversation now. She walked back inside. Daniel sat on the edge of the steps. You said your family turned their backs on you, he said. But you still believed in love. You believed in us. I didn't want to be the reason you stopped. His voice cracked. And I wanted to feel something. Anger. Sadness. Rage. But I didn't. Just, hollow. I gave up my family for you, I said. And maybe they were toxic. But I chose you. And you let me walk into this blind. He nodded. No excuses this time. I know I ruined everything, he whispered. You didn't need Michael to show up. The truth always finds a way out, I said. Then the door behind us slammed open. My grandfather stormed out, red-faced. You should be grateful. We tried to protect you from this. This, scam artist. Rachel followed him, trying to calm him down. She's not a child, Grandpa. I raised her better than this, he bellowed. No, I said, standing up. You raised me to be obedient. You raised me to keep my mouth shut and wear pearls while men made all the decisions. He pointed at Daniel. And this is what happens when you don't listen. No, I snapped. This is what happens when everyone lies and pretends it's for your own good. There was a silence. An actual pause. Like the world finally exhaled. Rachel looked between us. This isn't helping anyone. Then something unexpected happened. Daniel looked at my grandfather and said, You win. You got what you wanted. I'll sign whatever you want. Walk away. No prenup. No land. No claim to anything she owns. That hit harder than I expected. I turned to him. What are you doing? I lied. I hurt you. But I won't let them control you because of me. He took off his ring. Placed it gently on the railing. Not with hate. Not with shame. Just, letting go. I loved you, he said, voice trembling. Still do. But I understand if that's not enough anymore. He walked away. Didn't look back. My grandfather smirked. Finally. I spun to face him. Don't act like you're the hero. He raised an eyebrow. You wanted to protect our name? Congrats. You burned it to the ground. I walked inside. That night, I stayed at Rachel's. I didn't cry. My body was too tired. My mind too numb. I didn't call Daniel. He didn't call me. The media started buzzing a few days later. Society wedding implodes made it to a couple Charleston gossip blogs. My mom tried to save face by saying I had a breakdown. I didn't correct her. Let them think what they want. The land? I kept it. My lawyer confirmed everything. They couldn't touch it. I donated part of it to a local shelter that week. My grandfather still hasn't spoken to me. Daniel emailed me. Once. No subject line. Just one sentence. If you ever want to talk, I'll be where we first met. I didn't respond. I don't know if I ever will. It's been a month. I walk through the city, past the park where we got engaged. Past the church. Past the house I grew up in but don't call home anymore. Sometimes I wonder if I'll regret it. Choosing myself. Letting go of love. But then I think about everything I lost trying to fit into other people's expectations. And how free I felt when it all burned down and I didn't have to lie anymore. Maybe love doesn't always look like a perfect wedding and a house with white columns. Maybe sometimes, love is just the truth. Ugly. Brutal. Real. But it's mine now.